Welcome back to our podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
And I'm your co-host, Taylor.
And this is
New Country, Same Us.
This podcast is brought to you by Soft Landings by Elsewhere Co., a company we created to help people move abroad or start their new adventure in the United States.
Whether you're chasing a dream, a new opportunity, or just a slower pace of life, we're here to make the landing a little softer.
All right, so let's get into today's show. But before we dive in too deep, we promised you all the results of last week's game.
Yes, let's go over the results and name our winner.
So question 1 was, which country drinks the most coffee per person? Now the answer was Finland.
Question 2 was, which country visits the most other countries? That title goes to Germany.
And finally, question 3, which country has the highest life expectancy? That goes to Singapore. So how did you do?
And I want to extend a huge congrats to our fastest responders this week, the Aldavas.
Yes, Steve and Jacob, you two crushed it. Thank you both for playing.
We'll have another game at the end of the show, so if you want that shout out, stay tuned.
Now let's jump into today's adventure. So living abroad is all about new experiences, right? So this past week, we really leaned into that when we went to a quaint ceramic studio here in Tirana.
We did. I decided to make a witchy little cauldron. You went full mushroom theme for the kitchen, and our friend Hadi made a vase that was honestly kind of mid, or as Hadi would say, niche.
Yeah, but we all work so hard. And it was so much fun. There's something about getting your hands in that clay that's really just grounding.
Yeah, it was my first time ever working with clay. And let me tell you, it was not as easy as those calm Instagram videos make it look. My pot was lopsided, it had a lean, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa kind of lean.
Yeah, yours definitely had character.
Exactly. But in the end, I loved it. I had to pivot from my original design, but when it came out, it felt like mine.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a perfect metaphor for moving abroad. You start with the vision, then life throws you a few bumps and curves your way, and then you have to pivot. But what comes out in the end is yours.
Exactly. And I think if I'd asked more questions or help from the instructor, I could have saved myself a few cracks, dents, and heartache. Lesson learned. Don't be afraid to ask for help, even when you're trying to shape something new. That's
actually great advice. Whether it's pottery or moving to a new country, getting help can ease your path and make the overall experience better. I also wanted to touch on another fun moment this week. There was the Albanian soccer game.
Oh my gosh, yes. We were heading out to a new bar when Albania won against their historical rival, Serbia. That entire city went wild.
Yeah, it sure did. What's funny is we actually knew that the game was going to be on, so we took the Albanian flag with us, and not gonna lie, we were taking turns wearing it like superheroes. But overall, the energy around us because of that was unreal.
Everywhere you looked, people were cheering, hugging, waving flags. It was pure joy. Like you could feel the community in the air.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what inspired today's episode, because we realized how little most people actually know about this amazing gem of the country we live in.
So today's spotlight is shining bright on Albania, where we're living now, and where so much magic is quietly happening.
All right, so let's start off with the practical stuff, because that's what everyone asks us about first.
Yes, let's talk about visas and residency.
So the good news is, for our American listeners, you can actually stay in Albania for up to 1 full year without needing a visa.
You heard that right. 1 whole year. No visa paperwork, no embassy appointments, no stress.
Exactly. You only need your valid U.S. passport, and then you're good for 365 days.
And then what you can do after that year, you can apply for a residency permit if you fall in love with the place, which, let's be honest, happens a lot.
Totally. And If that's the case, residency options include permits for retirees, digital nomads, property owners, or even people working for themselves. It's one of the most expat friendly setups in Europe right now.
Americans can live in Albania for an entire year visa free. That's basically Europe's best kept secret.
Exactly. Seriously, try that in Italy or France.
Okay, so let's rewind and take a little trip through Albania's history because it is wild.
It really is. The ancient tribes, empires, kings, dictators, and then total reinvention. Albania's story is really one that's all about resilience.
We're talking about roots that go all the way back to the Lyrians, some of Europe's earliest tribes.
Yeah, and then the Romans showed up, and later the Byzantines. It was basically a crossroads of East and West for centuries.
And then came Skanderbeg, basically Albania's national hero. He united local lords in the 1400s to fight off the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah, he's kind of like Albania's George Washington meets Braveheart.
That's perfect. And even though the Ottoman Empire eventually took over after his death, Skanderbeg became a symbol of freedom and resistance. We actually live near the square that's named after him, with a towering statue in his honor.
All right, so let's fast forward to 1912. Albania declares its independence. But it wasn't easy. The borders kept shifting, powers kept meddling, and then World War II hit.
After that, Albania went from monarchy to one of the most isolated communistic dictatorship regimes in the world under Enver Hoxha.
Yeah, this guy basically closed the entire country off. He even built bunkers everywhere, with some reports of up to 750,000 built at the peak, and roughly over 175,000 still remain to this day. All of this because he thought everyone was out to invade him and his country.
Imagine being so paranoid that you bunker your beaches.
Exactly. So, for decades under his rule, people couldn't even practice their religion or travel freely.
Then finally, in the early 90s, the communist system collapsed. Albania opened up, and the transformation since then has been huge.
They joined NATO in 2009, and they're officially now a candidate for EU membership.
From isolation to integration, Albania's story is the ultimate glow up.
Let's not forget to talk culture, because Albania's roots run deep, and so does their pride.
The official language is Albanian, or Shqip. And if you've ever seen it written, you know it's unique. In fact, it's not related to any other major language.
It has two main dialects, Geg in the north and Tosk in the south. The modern language is mostly based on Tosk.
Because of different border disputes throughout history, as well as due to current migration patterns, you'll hear bits of Greek, Italian, and English sprinkled in, especially amongst the younger folks.
And their national anthem is called Hymni il Flamurit, which basically means hymn to the flag. The music is stirring and honestly, it's kind of cinematic.
And that flag, red with black with a double-headed eagle, it's powerful, bold, unforgettable.
And speaking of that eagle, it's everywhere. It's on tattoos, jerseys, cafe art, bumper stickers. It's like the country's heartbeat.
Fun fact, the national bird is literally that same eagle, the golden eagle. And the national flower is the red poppy.
Golden eagle, red poppies. Those colors sound familiar.
They sure do. The gold trim on the red and black flag are truly beautiful. Truly this nation's pride. And you know what else is beautiful? The food. Oh my goodness, where do we start?
Let's see, maybe with our favorite breakfast, burek. It's basically a flaky pastry filled with spinach or cheese or meat or a combination of those. Or maybe there's the baked lamb with yogurt dish called tava e kosit. Or even they have like these roasted peppers that are baked with cheese inside of them called like furges. It's really delicious.
There's also fli, which is another pastry with no filling from the pagan times. It's actually considered a sacrifice to the sun. And let's not forget the olive oil. Albanian olive oil is liquid gold.
Yeah, and we can't forget the coffee. Oh my gosh, it's strong, rich, and it's in the Turkish style. So you'll never look at Starbucks the same after you've had that. Although I did wish somebody would have told me not to drink the whole thing because there's these grounds at the bottom, which really they caught me off guard.
Yeah, Hadi was telling me that they use those grounds to tell your fate. You turn the cup upside down, leave it for a minute, and then you turn it back up for your reading.
So if you move to Albania, you got to prepare for four things: strong coffee, strong traditions, strong Iraqi,
Yes.
and the strongest community vibes. And for those of you who don't know, Iraqi is their national alcohol that is made and available everywhere. And it's basically like a brandy, right?
Yes, super strong, but you gotta try it.
Oh yeah, it'll put some hair on your chest, that's for sure.
Amen to that. Let's go ahead and let's paint a picture of the landscape for everyone listening.
So for those of you who don't know, Albania is small. It's about the size of Maryland, but it packs everything in here.
Exactly. You've got beaches on the Adriatic and Ionian Seas, snow-capped mountains in the north, green valleys, and clear blue lakes.
The Albanian Alps are also pretty incredible. They're in the northern part of the country. They're pretty much rugged and wild and untouched.
Then there's Mount Korab, the tallest peak sitting at nearly 2,800 meters, or roughly 9,200 feet.
Yeah, and the climate, there's coastal areas that are pretty Mediterranean, so you have the hot, dry summers and mild winters. If you head inland a little bit, it turns more alpine, so you'll get crisp, cool air that's perfect for hiking.
You can ski in the morning and swim in the sea by evening. Albania's climate is basically showing off.
Yeah, it's like nature said, why pick one vibe when you can have them all?
Now let's talk about the people, because honestly, that's the best part.
Yeah, so in terms of its people, Albania's population sits around 2.4 million overall right now. And it's actually been shrinking because of emigration. A lot of young Albanians go abroad for school or work.
Yeah, but those who stay are incredibly warm and community oriented. Everyone looks out for each other.
Demographically speaking, about 97% of the population identifies as ethnically Albanian. So that's a lot that are native here. There's small Greek, Roma, or Macedonian communities too, but it's mostly Albanian.
Yeah, and religiously, it's pretty mixed. Majority Muslim, but also Catholic, Orthodox, and a good number of people who just say they believe in something spiritual, not specific.
That's the cool part. Even with all those backgrounds, religion isn't divisive here. It's this you do you attitude.
Totally. You'll see mosques and churches on the same street, and people celebrate each other's holidays.
Yeah, it's the kind of coexistence the world could use more of.
Okay, let's talk about what daily life here actually feels like.
Yes, because moving somewhere is one thing, but living here, that's where the story really happens.
So first impressions. I'd say Albanians are some of the most genuinely welcoming people we've ever met. You can walk into a cafe once and the next time they already know your order.
Yeah, totally. Not to mention, even my barber is so helpful. We can spend all of 2 hours that I am in there, in his chair, talking.
Even at the markets, people actually take time to chat. You don't just buy tomatoes, you have a conversation about how your week's going.
Yeah, grocery shopping here is social therapy for most people. Everyone's friendly and patient, and they really care about quality. You'll see the grandmas inspecting like every peach like it's a diamond.
True. And speaking of quality, the farmers markets are the real MVPs. Fresh olives, herbs, cheeses. It's foodie heaven.
Yeah, another thing that stood out, the pace of life. It's slower, but in a good way. You don't feel rushed all the time, and people are actually sitting down, drinking their coffee, and not grabbing it to go.
Yes, the whole coffee to go concept is like non-existent. It's all about connection, conversation, and being present.
And it rubs off on you. After a few months, you stop checking your phone every 2 minutes and just breathe. In my experience, living abroad has taught me that slowing down isn't falling behind, it's catching up with life.
That's good. You should trademark that.
Maybe I will. We also can't overlook the sense of safety here. It's a huge plus. We walked home in the middle of the night here in Tirana, and never once have we felt uneasy.
Absolutely. People just look out for each other here. You'll see little kids running around the plaza at 10 p.m., families just hanging out, chatting. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it reminds me of small town community vibes, but in a capital city. That says a lot.
All right, now let's talk about money. The question we always get.
All right, so here we go. The cost of living challenge.
Let's break it down. First off, rent. A nice one-bedroom apartment in Tirana can cost anywhere from $350 to $550 USD a month.
Yeah, and if you're outside the capital, say down south near the beaches, you can find places for $300 or less.
Compare that to New York or LA, that's like 1 week's rent.
If that, my goodness. So next, we'll jump into coffee. The average espresso here is roughly about 60 cents.
That's right, 60 cents. That's not even enough to buy a pack of gum back home.
You can live your best cafe life in Albania for the price of a tip back home.
Okay, and let's talk groceries. A full bag of fresh produce from the farmer's market, tomatoes, peppers, herbs, fruit, maybe $10 total.
And then dinner for two with wine, that's around 25, maybe 30 tops. Great price.
Transportation is also super affordable. Buses and taxis are reasonable, but most people just walk because cities are compact.
Yeah, and you don't need a car unless you're doing major exploring. Gas overall is pricey, but who cares when your main commute is walking through beautiful cobblestone streets?
Exactly. Now, to be fair, imported goods can get expensive. Things like peanut butter or name brand snacks, yeah, you'll have to pay extra.
But overall, you can live comfortably on as little as $600 a month, including rent, food, and fun.
For digital nomads or retirees, that's a dream setup.
That's for sure. And it really changes what's possible. You can work remotely, save money, and live somewhere vibrant and safe.
Exactly. It's not about escaping. It's about choosing a different rhythm of life.
Okay, but can we take a quick moment to talk about that 60-cent espresso again?
Honestly, I'm still thinking about it. So what's next for Albania? Where's the country headed?
They've got some big dreams. Albania's government is working toward EU membership. That's the big one. But beyond that, they're pushing for modern infrastructure, green energy, and better education.
Yeah, they've got this plan called the National Strategy for Development and European Integration 2030. It's like a roadmap to level up everything from schools to tourism.
But they're also focused on keeping young people in the country, creating jobs, improving healthcare, and developing sustainable agriculture.
And let's not forget tourism. It's booming. Albania's beaches, mountains, and cities are finally getting global attention.
Right? It's like the affordable alternative to Greece or Croatia.
Albania is Europe's best kept secret, but not for long.
But with growth comes responsibility. Albania is trying to protect its environment while modernizing. It's a delicate balance.
And they're not afraid to tackle tough issues. Corruption, pollution, urban planning are all on the table for reform.
That's really what I love about it. It's a country reinventing itself, but doing it thoughtfully. Next up, we have our new segment with our son, Zavier.
Hi, I'm David. This is Kids Corner. Albania has 20 beaches and tall mountains. You can swim and climb in the same weekend. Albania's people call the country Shepherd, means the eagles. The flag has a big black eagle on it. The capital city is Tirana. That's right. It's the biggest city in Albania. Mother Teresa, who helped many people, had Albania in the room. People in Albania were very proud of her. People speak Albanian to say hello. It's presentation to say bye, and Vita Pace to say thank you. You can say, "Follow me, do it." And this was Just Gonna with Zavier.
Thank you so much, Zavi, for that uh, adorable lesson.
Isn't he so cute?
I think so. But I'm biased, right?
Well, we made him, so we know that he's adorable.
Oh, yeah. And we also know he's got a good, albeit big head on his shoulders.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Uh, so moving on in our show here, we're going to dive into everybody's favorite topic, recent events, and that's going to include some political stuff. So I don't fully tune out. We're going to pivot back after this, but I do think that it's important to touch on things that are happening globally. Now, in this segment, I am going to do a little bit more of the talking just because this is the thing that I'm really into. But, Taylor's still here and she's going to be getting informed at the same time for a lot of these issues.
I am the audience, so we're going to learn this together. I know a little bit of what's happening, but he's the type that's going to go ahead and actually dive in, look at the facts. So more information, we're leaning on him.
Yeah, and so she's welcome to ask questions, and then you're also welcome to ask questions in the comments if you have anything that you'd like, or feel free to DM me directly. You guys all know how to talk to me. There's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. So, or there's even our number on our website, elsewhere-co.com. With that being said, one of the biggest stories that I've seen this week was the formalization of the ceasefire in Gaza, which is good news. It's if it holds, it could really benefit a lot of people, especially the women, children, and civilians who have been starving in this man-made famine.
Yeah, I really hope that holds just because it's been terrible what's been happening. So please let that ceasefire hold.
Yeah, and there was a ceasefire that was drafted about 9 months ago under the Biden administration that didn't hold. So I'm hopeful that it does, but I'm looking through it with skeptics' eyes. But at the very least, they're able to receive the aid that they need in this time. And it's going to be at least to some benefit.
Well, that's good.
And with that being said, there's some other good things. We saw the leader of the opposition party in Venezuela won the Nobel Peace Prize.
I saw that, a little slide to a certain person who really wanted it.
It's definitely good to see Latinas get some representation. That's another positive this week. But pivoting into some of the scarier things that we've seen happening, and take it with a grain of salt, because we are thousands of miles away from the United States at this time. But I have noticed that they've been enabling more deployments of the National Guard and militarization of police forces in major cities throughout the U.S., as well as planning to do more so, and they're trying to do it in blue state strongholds. I always worry about that, and some of the stuff that I'm seeing, it's pretty terrifying, and it's not normal. And seeing people being handled so brutally, and they're disappeared after they're taken by ICE, that this really does have echoes of 1930s Germany.
Yeah, from what I've seen where ICE is right now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they basically extended their reach of power, where it's no longer they're just looking for people who overstayed their welcome in the U.S. It just kind of seems like they're taking people and deporting first, asking questions later. It really just looks like that they have no discernment of who they're going after.
Yeah, and for the most part, the Supreme Court upheld a decision that is allowing for them to basically, if they think, that, the color of your skin or the language that you're speaking makes it seem like you're potentially here illegally, or if you fit a certain profile, they're allowed to basically arrest you, and it's a way of circumventing due process, right? And
Yeah.
so you saw, I believe it was in Chicago, it was a midnight raid of an apartment of primarily Black families, and children are being zip tied together and put into a U-Haul while they try to find people with warrants. And it's terrifying, and it's an awful way to treat human beings, American citizens. And it's important for our audience to recognize that this isn't okay. You have rights, and they're stripping them away one by one. And only when you fully allow them to do this do they win.
I think it's also fair for what's happening, especially in Chicago and what they're targeting the blue states. You need to look out. It's no longer they're going after the people that they claim that they were going after. They're not going after prisoners. They're not going after gang members. They're going after people who don't fit the agenda of what they want the American person to look like. If getting ripped out of your apartment at midnight from ICE and you're in Chicago and you're a citizen and you can prove you're a citizen, and your kids are ripped from you, that's inexcusable.
Yeah, and in that raid, they were just looking for warrants. They weren't even looking specifically for people who were there undocumented. And that's the thing that everybody needs to realize, that you may be in a Democratic stronghold, you may be of a certain economic influence, but at the end of the day, they're coming for people who are disenfranchised or minority groups. Black and brown and people of color are at risk. All of those who are of the LGBTQ community are at risk. Don't think that because right now they're not targeting you, that you're safe. You need to be vigilant and speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. And with that being said, there's also some other scary legislation that's in the process right now. I believe it was last month, the Trump administration officially recognized Antifa as a terrorist organization. However, Antifa is not an organization, it's more of an idea or a movement. Antifa literally stands for anti-fascist.
But I mean, why would the Trump administration want it where they don't want fascists? I mean,
oh, maybe they're admitting something.
Just a shot in the dark.
With that being said, the administration is also trying to pass legislation that would allow for the Secretary of State to remove people's ability to leave the country if they're arrested on suspicion or even suspected to be a part of any sort of terrorist organization. It's a fancy way of removing your documentation without due process again. It's very possible that they can remove your ability to leave the country altogether, essentially trapping people.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, so let's say if a person is attending a protest, let's say the No Kings protest, they do not like what's happening with this administration. They are voicing their freedom of speech to say, hey, I do not want this. They are then arrested because of that. And if it is then deemed that, well, their actions can be seen as a part of Antifa, then they are then deemed a terrorist and would be stripped of their ability to get a passport and will not be allowed to leave.
Yes, that's mostly correct, except there is a little bit more of a qualifier on top of that. As of right now, they've authorized ICE to and subcontractors to be able to monitor your social media accounts. So if you have any rhetoric whatsoever that is on your digital footprint, you could also be classified under suspicion of being an Antifa member. And so just, sharing an anti-Trump post could be enough to get you locked into the country. And this is, their ability to take away your documentation like passports or visas or things of that nature.
And that actually is a very powerful way of trapping people by not allowing them to leave.
Yeah, and you would think, well, why would they want to trap people who don't want to be in the country anymore? And it's power. I mean, being able to disenfranchise people and make them fearful is a move of power that you've seen in many other dictatorships. So it's something that, again, if you can have your documents, get them and be ready. If you don't have your birth certificate or your marriage certificate or any official documents that you need, get them now while you still can, and get your passport now. Don't wait. Right now, the longer that this shutdown goes on, the less and less services that will be available to you. So it's very possible that this will be a dragged out shutdown because as of right now, both Republicans and Democrats are not coming to the table some sort of legislation to get the government open again. And the Trump administration right now is using this to their advantage to be able to fire as many people as they deem unnecessary or opposition to his administration. Was there anything else that you wanted to say before we fully move on?
The one thing I do want to say is with like Americans, we are scrappy. We fight. We know how to just plan and figure things out. Do not wait until the last minute to have it where you don't know what's happening. Round together some money, know what you need to, figure it out, get these documents, have that backup plan.
Yeah.
So at the very least, if something were to happen, you're already in the car, they don't know where you're at, you're on a plane.
Yeah, two quick things with that. When it comes to, your day-to-day life, being overwhelmed with everything that's going on is by design. Not being able to turn it off and just feeling constantly worried, it's part of the plan. Making it feel like you're working all the time and you have no time for your friends or yourself, again, is by design. And another quick aside, for those of you who really need it, American credit scores don't follow you outside of America. So
You didn't hear that?
that's not advice.
That's not
nothing
that's not advice.
Yeah, it's just a fun fact. And so with that being said, we'll pivot from politics. That's our soapbox. Let's give a little update on our lives. For those of you who don't know, who know our son Zavier, he is actually fully reading on his own now. There was the Captain Underpants series that I was a huge fan of as a kid. I always, would save up my money or my prizes for, reading competitions or whatever, and I'd buy an edition of Captain Underpants. So it's really nice to be able to, the book that he's really into right now, reading completely by himself.
Yeah.
Was one that I grew up with and really loved. So it's something I can share with him.
And for those of you who don't know, so our son Zavier is 4. And the Captain Underpants books are chapter books that are equivalent to, like we looked it up, like a 2nd or 3rd grade reading level.
Yeah, third grade, I believe.
So to have it where he's reading these books that are at least 78, 80 pages, cover to cover, front to back, he's reading it to us, fully comprehending what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, one of the words he was reading was 3 syllables. I mean, just one I just happened to catch offhand, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty advanced. I mean, he's doing great. He's learning some Albanian, and he's making friends.
Yeah.
You may have noticed in the video earlier, he has a little bit of a black eye. We were in a little bit of a scooter incident where he bumped his eye on the hook.
Yeah, on the scooter.
But I mean, he's a scrappy kid. It didn't he cried for a second.
Yeah, that kid is solid. Oh my God, I felt awful when it happened. And
well, I mean, you didn't realize that it was happening. She was on a scooter, an electric scooter, and they went over a curb, and there's this little rubberized hook on the front of the scooter that allows you to put a bag there, and neither one of them were really paying attention to that, and so he bonked his eye there. But I mean, even in those moments when Taylor was feeling terrible, he's like, "It's okay, Mama."
You're gonna make me cry. Oh my God, I do not deserve this kid. He's so sweet.
Overall, I just feel like we're really lucky with him. He's so excited for Halloween coming up. He wants to be a ghost again because he was a ghost before. So we're going to have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, so he just saw the movie Casper.
Mm-hmm.
So fell in love with that. We also had to explain the concept of ghosts and death. So that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
But then...
yeah, in a high level way, though. Nothing too then he started asking us if we were going to die and if he would die. And then we kind of had to explain that death was permanent. He took it like a champ.
He did it. It didn't help in the movie that they die and come back. He's like, oh, I just drink this medicine and I'm fine. It's
yeah. I mean, we want to protect him, but he needs to understand, that some things in life are real things in life. And, he's already, been to a funeral before. So he kind of has an idea of what death is, but, anyways, we're getting
back to Halloween.
Yeah, back to Halloween. More death with a different topic. So
fun death.
Fun death.
But what's crazy?
Slasher movies.
That's this weekend's plans. But here in Albania, as much as they do pick up some of the concept of westernized cultures and holidays, they don't really do Halloween here. So
Yeah,
that
it's a
was
very
a
light
little culture shock
version
for
of
us.
it. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you could tell, we got some decorations up, but it is kind of a struggle. I'm used to, just a surplus everywhere, just dozens of different styles, let alone every store that you walk into has their own line of Halloween stuff, and already everybody's moved on to Christmas by now, so
That is the other thing. We're not seeing the like influx of like decorations and like, oh, you gotta buy these like super like kitschy like things. And it's like, oh, I kind of like miss that. I would like a little like dancing skeleton, but it does allow us to be a little more resourceful and kind of like plan our own costumes, make some decorations.
Well, and we're living in a much less consumeristic world here, and so it's nice to, some of the decorations I've been making. Like I cut out a wall of bats. These were all cut out one by one by hand. So it's, you feel, a sense of accomplishment when it's done. It's not just, oh, I bought these at the dollar store and they're readily available, kind of thing. But
And
yeah, we're also planning on having a Halloween party on the weekend, so that's going to be nice too.
yeah, kind of bringing back a little bit of our own like traditions that we do, because every year for the major holidays we do throw a party, and parties are where like you shine. We get to go all out. So being able to kind of bring that with our friends that we made out here is
It's
going to
going
be
to be
really
a
fun.
much more toned down version though, because I don't have my totes and totes of party supplies.
No, we've been stocking up just to not be able to have them here.
Yeah.
Hey, that sucks.
Yeah, but it is what it is. We're excited for it. We're gonna do kind of a double feature movie night. So for, a lot of the people here haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show and Coraline. So I actually am gonna have those both playing while we, snack and listen to some music outside. And we have that nice patio area that can host a good amount of people. So I think it'll be fun. And we have our community here that's, really, they're fun, they're a vibe.
That's for sure.
We can move into our next segment here. We're going to go ahead and play our game. The same style as last week, so stay tuned. All right, all you lovely people, now's the time that you've all been waiting for. This week's quiz game.
Let's throw it back to our phantom voice in the studio, Hadi, our intern executive assistant.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Hadi.
Hi, Hadi.
Hi. Okay, so same as the last week, we will have 4 questions for our host to answer and 3 for our audience at home. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Tay?
I'm ready.
Okay, first question is, what is the very old lake Albania shares with North Macedonia? Lake Ohri, Lake Genova, Lake Komon, or Lake Balkan?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Ohrid.
I'm also going to say Ohrid.
Ohri, yes, it's Lake Ohri.
Yeah, all right. We can't do the same answer every time. It'll be a boring game.
In a sweep last time,
I will get the bragging rights this time, for sure.
Okay, the second question is, which country is next to Albania on land? A, Greece, B, Italia, C, Australia, and D, Bulgaria.
I think that I'm gonna have to go with Greece.
I do think it's Greece. Because I know, well, no, because I know like Italy is close, but you have to take like a ferry there. And like Greece, I feel like it's like right there.
No, you can walk to Italy, Tay. You should pick Italy.
No.
You don't have to take a ferry.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not losing this bad this week.
A tie is still the same as losing. All right, so what's the answer?
It's A, Greece.
Yeah, we got it. Whatever. Okay, next question.
The third question is, which Albanian town is called the City of 1,000 Windows? A, Berat, D, Lit, D, Dubrovnik, and C, Kotor.
I think I'm gonna go with Berat.
Well, I have to answer first because I was also going to go with Borat because that's the only one that I recognize.
Yeah, okay. Well, come on, do one for the
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't lose. Your pride.
for the plot, Taylor. For the plot.
The plot, I come in and win. That is for the plot.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Okay, so this question are way too easy.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, we got an unfair advantage living here, right?
This is true.
it's A, Berat.
Yeah. All right. So this has got to be the tiebreaker. We have to pick something different this time. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, the fourth question is about there is a legend where a woman was entombed to keep the walls of the castle standing. What is the name of the city where this happened? A. Shkodër, D. Ulqin, C. Gjirokastër, and D. Lezhë.
Is it Skoder?
Goder, I'll say Gjirokastër. It's my answer. C.
Costa?
Uh-oh.
I'm a Skoder.
It's Shkodër.
Ah, all right. You win this week. You're not gonna keep that crown, so it's.
A win's a win, baby.
All right. Whatever. Don't be so cocky.
Now we have our questions for the audience. Our host can feel free to play along as well. And if you paid attention to today's episode, this should be easy for you guys at home. So the first question is, who is a famous hero from Albania? Skanderbeg, A. D. Napoleon, C. George Washington, and D. Julius Caesar.
Oh, it's definitely Julius Caesar. No, I'll give the audience a chance at home. I definitely know this answer. I'll give you guys a second to write it down. Don't cheat now.
I'm telling you, Washington just calls to me for some reason. I feel like I've heard that name.
Yeah, I think I think it's actually gonna be the George Washington mixed with Braveheart here in Albania, and his name is Skanderbeg. Is who I'm gonna go with.
I'm going to just jazz things up. I'm going to go with Napoleon. It's a great ice cream.
All right, so write your answer down. We're not gonna give you the answers just yet. So go ahead. How do you continue?
Okay, the second question is, which food is a popular Albanian dish? A. Burek, B. Sushi, C. Tacos, or D. Pho?
Ooh, it's definitely tacos.
Well, we've had some really good sushi. I
Yeah, I mean they do have some pretty fresh seafood, huh? No, I think audience, go ahead and write your answer down at home. Go ahead and type that in, and I think I'm gonna go with burek.
I'm sure everyone listening just loved that just whisper.
Yes, this is your ASMR segment of our podcast. Let me know if you like it. I can do some more. I can even do those like clicks and stuff too.
I'm going to go with no, but I believe the answer is Burek.
All right, so we'll find out next week. All right, and what's the last question?
The third question is, what small round buildings from the past can you still see all over Albania? A. Bunkers, D. Windmills, C. Pyramids, and D. Tree houses.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Windmill, I think.
Yeah, I've definitely seen tree houses. We live in one. That's
A pyramid like down the street.
There is a pyramid. It's I don't know if I've seen them all over. I've seen one here and in Durrës.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with bunkers. So you'll find out next week. So you know what to do. Answer the questions, and the fastest to respond will be shouted out next week at the top of our show. So good luck, and thank you, Hadi.
And also, my vase was niche. Okay.
Yeah, it was niche.
It was niche.
All right, good luck, everyone. Okay, final thoughts. Would you live in Albania long term?
Honestly, yeah. I think it's definitely a possibility. It's peaceful and affordable and full of opportunity. Plus, I've never met kinder people.
Same. It's got that mix of adventure and calm that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Finding places that challenge and inspire you, while reminding you that no matter where you go, it's the same
for
us. All right. Before we wrap, here's one more surprise question for our audience, just to make sure you're really paying attention. What year did Albania declare its independence? This one actually stumped our phantom voice Hadi, who's from Albania, and if you guys didn't know, so but yeah, exactly. So if you get this, you have a little bit more Albanian knowledge than even him. All right. So if you know it, drop your answer in the comments or tag us on social media, whatever's easiest for you. And again, the fastest to provide all the correct answers will get a shout out next week.
And if there's a country you want us to spotlight next, let us know.
Yeah. So our structure this time was kind of to highlight Albania, but we do fully plan on highlighting a bunch of other countries. So if there's one that you want to hear first, let us know in the comments and we'll be happy to try to accommodate. And we might just pick yours for our next episode.
Until next time, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Brandon. And this has been
New
New Country, Same
Same
Us. All right, bye. Thank you.
See you next week.
Okay.
That's right.